Everyone has been talking about Kemi's new policy on immigration here in the UK and how she planned on increasing the time for you to be able to get your ILR or citizenship and all of that, how you need to have spent 10 to 15 years in the UK and at least be earning a certain amount of salary contributing to the UK's economy before you will be eligible to apply for citizenship. That's her plan when she becomes prime minister, I think, or that's what she had and her party planned to do. But nobody is looking at the current prime minister, the way he's making it very difficult with different policy to discourage migrant recruitment. I know a lot of people have been complaining there are no jobs in the UK. The job market right now, it's crazy. It wasn't like 2 years back where you can easily get a job. Right now, the job market is so tight. Even some civil service departments are going to have like a recruitment freeze. A year, 2 years back, you know, companies were recruiting massively, but right now everything is down low. That's because there are a lot of policies right now that is discouraging companies from hiring migrant workers, whether those overseas or those currently in the UK. So if you have a sponsorship at the moment, you're working in a place where there's sponsorship, you need to hold it tight because, I mean, the job market is not smiling. So in recent times, the UK government has implemented several measures to tighten immigration policies, particularly to discourage migrant employment. Sit tight, relax, and let's get straight into it. Hey my lovelies, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Faith Ojone and this is your go-to channel for anything information about the UK and the story time and lifestyle. So if these are the kind of content that interests you, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Without saying so much, let's get straight into it. Life is made up of moments, big and small, ordinary and extraordinary. And at KorPhotography, we make sure those moments last a lifetime. Whether it's a gorgeous portrait of yourself to celebrate your birthday, corporate shoots for your employees, a heartwarming family photo shoot, pre-wedding shoot, maternity, or an epic celebration, we don't just take pictures, we capture memories that tells your story. A fun, relaxed photo shoot where you shine your brightest and we do magic behind the lens. Our expert eyes for details and creativity means you get high quality images you'll treasure forever. So what are you waiting for? Book your session today and let's create something unforgettable. To learn more, visit our website www.korphotography.co.uk. You can also follow us on our social media handle, Instagram at KorPhotography with a double Y, and on Facebook at KorPhotography. You can send an email at KorPhotography2024@gmail.com. KorPhotography, where every shoot tells a story. The UK government recently introduced stricter rules that makes it nearly impossible for refugees who arrive through illegal routes like small boats or hiding in vehicles to become British citizens. From the 10th of February 2025, anyone who enters the UK illegally will generally be denied citizenship, no matter how long they have been in the country. Previously, refugees who arrived through the irregular route had to wait like 10 years before being considered for citizenship. But now, illegal entry will be seen as a sign of bad character, disqualifying them from applying for citizenship. Most applicants' children will be exempt if they are determined that they have no control over how they arrive. That's for the children. The decision has sparked criticism. The Refugee Council estimates it could affect over 70,000 refugees and argues that this policy will prevent successful integration into the UK. Some Labour MPs have also criticized the move, saying that it treats refugees as a second-class citizens and contradicts international laws which protect refugees from being punished for illegal entry. This change comes along Labour's new border security bill, which is now out there, which focus on cracking down on people smugglers and increasing penalty for dangerous channel crossing. So while citizenship application will still be reviewed individually, the stricter guidance significantly reduce the chances of refugees who arrived in the UK illegally to be granted citizenship. This was recently announced a few days ago. We're still in February. Our new MP is now saying no more citizenship for illegal migrants. So if anybody comes to the UK illegally, you will not be granted citizenship. There are other ways that the Prime Minister is cutting down net migration. I know like this current Prime Minister is not really making waves about it like the previous party, like they kind of make it a thing. Migrants are coming to the country, migrants are these, like, you know, every time on the media it's immigrants, this immigrant, that is was becoming so annoying. But this one is low-key doing it, like he's doing his job low-key without like making it popular. But I feel like recently when Donald Trump sort of released the footages of him deporting people, the UK government also did the same thing. I think a few days ago the UK government released images of the deportation of illegal immigrants that they have caught and are sending, like deporting them back to their home country. This is something that the UK don't usually do. They don't sort of release images of the deportation, but since the US have done it, the UK recently did it. So I mean, I don't know if the US politics on immigration is affecting the UK or all over the world, but I mean, we immigrants, we don't suffer. Anyway, other ways that the UK government is discouraging recruitment of international like migrant workers is making it impossible for employers to recruit migrant workers. So before now, employers can transfer the cost of sponsorship license to employees. So you pay for your license, you pay for everything. But now the UK government has made it illegal, effective from the 31st of December. I think I've made this video before, 2024. Employers who have the sponsorship license to sponsor skilled workers are no longer allowed to pass certain sponsorship costs, such as sponsored license fees and certificates on sponsorship fees, onto the skilled workers they are recruiting. So these measures aims to prevent work-related debts and exploitation among migrant employees. Also, the government has now enhanced enforcement against illegal employment. There has been a notable increase in the enforcement actions against illegal workers. The government has reported a 32% rise in site visits and 29% increase in arrests related to illegal employment compared to the previous year. I mean, currently in this year, the UK government has made arrests of illegal workers. So employers who hire illegal migrants, people that do not have the papers to work in the UK, who are not allowed to work legally in the UK government is clamping down on employers, and they have increased the fine and making it harder. If they catch you as an employer hiring illegal immigrants, you will be fined huge fees. The UK government also have a biometric kits and body-worn cameras are being deployed to frontline immigration enforcement team throughout 2024, tightening work visa sponsorship rules. Other ways the UK is making it impossible, like making it harder for recruitment of migrant workers, is employers must meet a more stricter requirement to become licensed sponsored. You can no longer just apply for sponsorship license. There are more compliance checks and a tougher penalty for non-compliance, which has increased and made it more difficult for hiring from abroad. The UK government is also encouraging hiring of British workers more. So there are government policies and funding initiatives that encourages business to recruit and train British workers instead of relying on migrant laborers. Apprenticeship programs and upskill initiatives aim to reduce the reliance on foreign talent. Right now, there are a lot of apprenticeship out there for British people. Before now, there are certain criteria you need to meet. The UK government has now scrapped the English and Maths threshold for adult apprenticeship. So now, adult apprenticeship, they don't need to provide English and Maths for them to qualify, because the UK government is doing so many things to encourage hiring of British workers and, you know, the employment of homegrown workers, like they will say. Also, the government is reviewing the reliance on overseas hiring in in tech and engineering sector. The Migration Advisory Committee has been tasked with examining workforce shortage, salaries, training, and working conditions to understand why employers turn to foreign laborers to bring them to the UK. So this review could lead to changes in immigration rules to encourage the development of the domestic talent. I know before now, if you're in tech and engineering, like you can easily get sponsorship and all of that, but right now, no. Right now, they are looking at shutting that door. So even if you're in tech, it won't be easy for you to come to the UK on a skilled worker visa like it used to be. And recently, the UK government also terminated the Refugee Employment Support Program, which is a program that is designed to assist refugees in learning English, gain employment, and integrate into the UK community. But this has been stopped immediately Labour got in power. This move has limited the refugee ability to enter the UK. Aside from the UK limiting the refugee ability to be able to get work or integrate in the UK, they've also stopped citizenship for refugees. I mean, they're making it very hard, discouraging people from coming in, and those already in, making it harder for them to even want to stay. Everything is just so difficult and stricter compared to before. The UK government has also increased compliance audits for sponsored license holders. So companies who have sponsorship license, there've been a rise in compliance visits and checks for businesses holding sponsorship license. The Home Office is conducting more inspections to ensure that employers adhere to the immigration laws, particularly in sectors with history of rules violation. Of course, we know it's going to be care, but yeah, so there'll be more checks now on employers. The UK government has raised employer sponsorship costs, meaning employers must pay a higher immigration skill charge per sponsorship workers, which is now £1,000 per year for large business and £364 for small businesses. Combined with other rising costs, this discourages businesses from hiring foreign workers and immigrants who require sponsorship. These measures reflect the UK ongoing efforts to tighten immigration control and prioritize employment opportunities for British workers only. Everything is getting strict now, so if you find a company willing to sponsor you, trust me, just know that these companies are jumping through hurdles to sponsor you. You will see a company willing to pay salary of 90k, but the moment you tell them, oh, I require sponsorship, they are out the window. Have you guys not wondered why the salary is so good? I mean, some companies even pay way above the salary threshold, which is 38k, but once you just tell them we require sponsorship, they are gone, they are out the windows. If you currently have a job with visa sponsorship, you need to hold it tight. And other ways you can help yourself is by looking at other countries as well. Australia, New Zealand just recently launched a new visa. This one is for people who have, if you have like a job, remote job, you can go and stay in New Zealand for up to 9 months or 1 year. You'll be working from New Zealand as a remote worker. There are other pathways in New Zealand and Australia. The only thing with New Zealand is the fact that before you go there, you need to have a job. It's recently that they introduced their remote working visa, so that means you don't require a job. You can go to New Zealand as long as you have a job where you're coming from. You need to have a job. I don't know how much their salary threshold is. You need to have a job that pays you a certain amount every month for you to apply for the remote working visa, and you can go there and be working. So if you have, like, for those of you who have jobs maybe with US companies and you're working remotely in the UK and maybe you're fed up of the UK, you can just quietly apply for the New Zealand remote work visa and just go there, and maybe from there find your way and, you know, stay back. There are stricter immigration rules right now. There are less jobs. Even when there are jobs, they are now prioritizing the British workers now. So as an immigrant in the UK, especially international students, you're just finishing school with zero experience, the job market is currently even tougher for people with experience. So imagine you just fresh out of school. So if you get any opportunity, the 2-year post-study work visa that you can apply for, just use that to build your experience, so that once you are done, you can then look for sponsorship. When you're coming out of school, don't be just focused on just trying to get sponsorship. Get a job first. Any job. Well, not just any job. Get a job that you know it's will groom your experience. Don't go and get customer service job or jobs that like it will not build that experience you need. Let's say for example you study project management, look for internship in that particular field, do internship for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, then from there get a job. Those 2 years experience you can then use it to look for sponsorship later. But that 2 years you're coming out of school, don't be in a hurry to want to get sponsorship. Just focus on building your experience, or at least gaining work experience. This is not like an exciting video, but it is an information that is important that you should be aware of, so you're not relaxed, you're planning yourself, you're prepared for anything. Just know that there will be more rules, there will be more changes, there will be stricter rules, because right now they are focusing on cutting down net migration, not just allowing people in, but those who are already in, get them out. So I know if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe. We have come to the end of this video, and guys, I will see you in my next videos. Bye.